Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is what I thought. All right, I'm going to bring this up to start the show.
What?
We need a premium account on Twitter to create live broadcasts on their platform. It's a new rule. Yeah, I know. Hold on. We're going to talk about it. That's where we're going to start the show. I know. Hold on.
I found my wiffle ball. I hope that because this is live, people just see me playing with this wiffle ball.
I think people might have been watching you play with your wiffle balls. We were trying to figure this out because, and welcome in to episode 63 of Ramie and Drew. I am Ramie Mackloff. That is Drew Flaggy. We're a couple of Milwaukee-based comedians. We talk about sports and whatever else might come to mind. We could have got you doing a lot worse. People have gotten caught doing a lot worse when they weren't sure or didn't know that they were going live.
Dude, I don't even know if you know about why I just laughed at that.
You told me all about it outside a comedy club one night. Yeah, you told me the whole thing. Yeah, you already told me the whole thing.
The camera was on. Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. But what I was trying to figure out, Drew, if you're watching us on YouTube and Facebook, we appreciate it. And check us out on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. If you don't catch the entire episode, follow, subscribe, like, rate, review while you're there. But it appears, Drew, that we can no longer stream live, and we'll get to the sports in a second. We can no longer stream live on Twitter without a premium account, without shelling over the $8 to Elon for the blue check mark. And I don't know, man. I don't know. That's pretty shitty. That's where we did a lot of our numbers. I'm not gonna lie. That's where we drew a lot of people to the page. Like by the, I mean, for us, like 4 digits per podcast we were getting, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 views per episode over there on the old Twitters, and now we can't do that without paying for the premium account.
Do we have to do this where it's maybe we should just make a premium account and then I don't know,
just
you shell out the $8 and then I just buy you a beer once a week? Is that that's roughly $4?
I'm not paying for a premium account, and I'm principle, and one principle only. It might not be the principle that you're thinking. I had a blue check mark, dude. I had one. All right, and I earned it, and it was stripped from me, and I refused to pay for one at this point. I'm not saying I won't move off that position, but that's been my position, and I'm stubborn. I'm an Arab. We're known for being a stubborn people. I'm a stubborn man. I live up to the stereotype, and I don't want to pay for something that I already had for free and earned through hard work and credibility. You know what I mean? That's how I got it. Not $8 a month. I got it through hard work and credibility, Drew, and I don't want to have to pay for it, and I won't.
Sounds very awfully white of you to say it like that. I earned it and they took it from me.
I did earn it and they did took it from me. All right.
Wow. Spoken from white lips.
Yes. That's my American side coming up.
Nothing more American than wiffle ball.
So we'll see what happens. That sucks. But yeah, whatever. People will find us, right? On YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Like, subscribe, rate, review, tell a friend, all the good stuff.
I think most people find us on Twitter.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
we're gonna have to spend the $8.
I should just tweet. I should have done this before we started the show because now I'm going to be distracted. But I should have just tweeted. This might have done a little damage. Just tweeted, "Hey, we're going live over on YouTube. Here's a link." Right? That would have been the thing to do.
Probably would have. Yeah.
But I didn't know this until I hit start stream, and then this notification popped up. It caught me by surprise.
Well, it's a good thing that we haven't done a podcast in like a week, and then that there's been nothing interesting to talk about either. Like,
no, oh, there's plenty. There's plenty interesting. There's plenty. Interesting.
We got baseball trade deadline coming up, and then my favorite, like, what do we want to talk about? Do we want to recap?
I forgot about the deadline. We'll get to that in a second. I thought this is where you'd want to start. Is that series that we just witnessed between the Brewers and the Cubs. That was, it was already pretty much over, but that was the dagger in the Chicago Cubs, at least as far as my hopes go. And before the series even started, Jed Hoyer, their president of baseball operations, he came out and said that they're looking to the future with any moves leading up to the trade deadline. So it's a pretty done deal. And honestly, I'm surprised you're not a little happier about that, given the whole Craig Counsell angle of the thing and the fact that you just put them to bed after he jumped ship for. And I don't want to say playing it down, but I keep saying, like, it's not. I don't personally care about that whole angle of it because I'm not a Brewers fan. I just like Craig Counsell as a manager, and I'm glad the Cubs hired him. But I do get why you guys are pissed, or why it hurt when he did what he did, and it's got to feel pretty good to kind of get the revenge and put the final nail in their coffin here in this season.
No, it felt good to stick it to him. I think after like the first series of the year, though, that the players didn't really think anything of it. It was just more like the homecoming, and like we are not losing to him at home. Like, he's not coming into Miller Park and winning these games. Like, it's like, because it's almost more the thing of like not wanting to listen to people call, the AmFam or Miller Park, call it fucking Wrigley North. No one wants to hear that. Like, it's like we're tired of it. When Cubs fans know it annoys us, but it's the same thing as whenever there's like a rain delay or something at like Wrigley, and then every Brewers fan says put a lid on that toilet. So it goes both ways.
Hashtag put a roof on it.
Yeah. I mean, there are some stadiums, like, I get it. Like, I'll shit on it. Like not have, like, building a new stadium without a roof is stupid. But like Wrigley and Fenway, I'm like, no. And even Yankee Stadium, I'm like, no, shouldn't have a roof on it. There's just something kind of classic about those ballparks that they shouldn't. Unless they have to demo those parks and make them into something else, there's no reason to put a roof on those. Like, I'm actually kind of okay with it.
No, they should put a roof on every. Do we have
American ballpark?
Do we have to? We're going to have this conversation. I mean, it's 2024, man. We can have retractable roofs on every stadium. We can have retractable roofs on basketball arenas. You know what? There's no reason there's no reason not to do it. Like, we can, and it doesn't really cost that much more. The extra cost is, in my expert opinion, recouped in the fact that it's a year-round venue that's both indoor and outdoor, that can hold any sort of event, any sort of live event at any time of year. It's a beautiful thing, the AmFam Field, and any stadium like it. Hashtag put a roof on it.
Are you saying like retractable roofs for like basketball stadiums, like in the sense of it being like for like the summer when there's no basketball going on most of the time for the Chicago Bulls, and like they could have like a concert?
Yes, that's
okay.
Exactly
what
I'm
saying,
talking
like,
about.
If you're starting to talk fucking crazy and be like, it's like spring basketball, why don't we open up the roof or something like that? Yeah, and then it's like somebody, listen, I got to watch Pat Connaughton airball 3-pointers anyways. I don't want the wind affecting his shot. Okay?
I don't think the wind will. It's a bowl. I don't think the wind will get in and affect guys' shots. They're not getting the ball that high up.
I don't want to run this experiment either.
Didn't somebody talk the other day, or a few years ago, not the other day, about building a retractable? I think it was Phoenix was kicking around which is a terrible idea in Phoenix because it's like 180 degrees out there.
The floor would light on fire. It's made of wood. It'd be like a magnifying glass on an ant. Like, it would.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant is 90 years old out there. You're gonna kill him with heat stroke if you do that.
Did you see? We've gotten off topic very quickly. Did you see the? It's just a picture. I don't know if there's video of it, but Ant just absolutely posterizing Kevin Durant in a Team USA practice today.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was pretty sick.
Yeah.
He has no mercy, dude. And it doesn't matter like the venue. I saw him beat Steph Curry, and I don't know why we're talking about Ant Edwards because, like Drew said, what else really is there to talk about? But I saw him beat Steph Curry in a half court shooting competition. Like the dude has no chill when it comes to competition. And that's what I love about Anthony Edwards, dude. It's why he's one of my favorite players in the league is because he's always looking to kick somebody's ass at something.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's awesome. I noticed today at the gym, actually, a lot of dudes were wearing Anthony Edwards, like AE1s. That's like kind of like the shoe meta right now. A lot of people, and like I'm all for it. They're Adidas. They look terrible. I think they're ugly. But you know what? People are wearing them and they say they're comfy. So they look like if you forgot to put a bunch of holes in Yeezys. Like that's what like if you didn't like
maybe they stopped the assembly line when he said what he said, and they just turned them into the AE1s before they got the holes punched in them.
No, because Yeezys are basically Crocs for people who have a jumper, but like
right. Yes,
yeah, it's just like it didn't get to the hole punch part of the machine. Like that's just what they look like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is they got stopped halfway down the assembly line.
Yeah, it's like they're like these are done enough. Okay, so we can go back to the Brewers. Like while I was waiting to get into the show, because like that's the other thing is like the trade deadline. Oh, well, I guess Yelich's injury too.
That's what I was just going to bring up, but we can talk trade deadline. I did see. I wish I remembered where I'd seen it. I was on the air last night on the Score in Chicago. If you want to go back and check that out on your Odyssey app using the Rewind feature. I saw it come across my timeline, but I was on the air, so I couldn't stop to like look at it, give it any time or attention. That they had sniffed around Vlad Guerrero Jr.
The Brewers?
The Brewers, yes.
Okay. What, like
that's
sure.
Really that doesn't get you excited? That would be pretty sick.
Who the fuck are we giving up? That's my problem. It's not. Like, how many bats are you? How many bats are you sending back?
This was from Brewer World. I don't know who they are. They got a pretty decent following. They say have a source who is close to a source within the front office tell me the Brewers have made some inquiries into acquiring Vlad Guerrero Jr. Obviously, would be a huge move. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I mean, I would be interested in acquiring him also, but there's a lot of play. I would love if Mike Trout's ACL magically healed and we could also get Mike Trout. And I would also you know who else I'm really interested in getting? I'd like Chris Sale. We're not getting come on. Like
no, but Vlad Guerrero Jr. is on the block. According to reports.
Also crazy to me, but it's like, all right, I would take him, but I'm side-eyeing that deal pretty hard where I'm like, what are they taking from us here?
You're gonna have to give up some prospects.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's enough guys that I'm like, all right, I could give, whatever. I'm more along the lines of like the Brewers probably just need to get another starting pitcher. Go get a guy because there's that guy from Toronto, the Japanese guy that we talked about the last time. I'm like, I'm fine with getting another guy with a 4.0 ERA that can cover 5 or 6 innings. That's it.
And that whoever you bring over, the Brewers will probably get the most out of them. Whatever they're doing somewhere else, you can probably get a little bit better out of them when you get them here and get them in the pitching lab.
Yeah, Dallas Keuchel I thought was even fine before we just DFA'd him or whatever. I'm like, that's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't think he was fine. They did not think that he was fine.
No, he had 2 good starts, but I mean, Savale has been decent, so I'm like, whatever. There's guys that they can go find and stuff, and I mean, the back end of the bullpen is such a strength for the Brewers. I'm just just get it there without giving up more than 3 runs.
Dude, it's really crazy how they just keep on restocking that bullpen because they've had, first of all, you traded Josh Hader a couple of years ago and almost didn't miss a beat with Devin Williams sliding right into that role and a bunch of guys coming up behind him. Well, but even on top of that, they've had injuries this year, and there hasn't really been any point where, unlike the Cubs, where there was a long stretch of the bullpen really letting you down. And with the injuries that they've had, I think people might excuse it or at least understand it if they did go through a stretch like that. But they haven't, man, and they just keep finding different arms to bring up whenever they need one to bring up. And Devin Williams hasn't even thrown a pitch yet this season.
Yeah, he's been only pitching those simulated games. Like, I thought that he would be back by now, but whatever. As long as he's back in time that he can be on our playoff roster, I'm good with it. I'd like him to get some reps here and there, but, you know, even in like middle relief or something like that, like you don't gotta throw him into the fire immediately.
Oh no, he's
actually
he's gonna be in the.
I was waiting to talk to you about this. When the Yelich thing came down yesterday, like that was yesterday, right? That
Ken Rosenthal. Like, I don't know. I think we're talking about the same thing. This was earlier today, 3:00 today. He said Christian Yelich intends to rest and rehab his back rather than undergo surgery that would have ended his season. Off-season surgery, though, is a strong possibility, the source says.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's fine. Like, I would rather have the prospect of Yelich being able to come back. Literally, when this happened, it was so funny to me because, like, I was downplaying it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like, this could be a blessing in disguise. Like, you know, Garrett Mitchell's going to just be a lefty in the lineup. He's not going to have to worry about potentially losing a spot. Frelick's going to get more at-bats again. You know, it's like you're probably going to, you know, you're going to have a decent little lineup out there with a lot of young guys with a lot of stuff to prove. And if they don't play well, you all played better than Tyler Black did. So whatever, like you guys aren't going to lose your spots. Jackson Churrio's not going to lose his spot. He's been playing great. So like, I'm like, yeah, it's not a big deal. I was like, Yelich, you know, yeah, he missed a month or whatever, a month and a half. And he came back and he looked like MVP Christian Yelich again. And, you know, he was leading the National League in like batting average. And, you know, he was ripping the ball everywhere. He was getting on base. You know, he was doing everything that we know Christian Yelich can do. And like my dad texted me, he's like, this sucks. Like, this is awful. I'm like, nah, he'll come back and he'll be fine. And then we got the thing where like he's gonna go see a back specialist on Thursday. And I was like, fuck, now I'm panicking. I'm like, now I'm not happy. Like, it was like literally one of those things. I'm like, it'll be good. He'll be back in like 20 days or something. You know, he'll have his little rehab. And then I was like, shit, I was being... How did I stop being the pessimistic one?
And I see where you get the pessimism from. It's directly from your dad. You're a direct
descendant of my dad's usually the one telling me to chill the fuck out. Like I'm usually the one that's like mad.
It's like, true. I've seen you chill the fuck out. Yeah, I've witnessed it. I've seen it. But I forgot hold on. What was the point about Yelich? It's good that he's avoiding the surgery and he's going to rehab and try and play this season. But the fact he's having off-season surgery, I don't know. Hate me if you want for bringing this up. But isn't this starting to feel very Ryan Braun-like? Which if that's the career he has, it's not the worst thing in the world. But you might look back on it, and because of injuries costing him time or injuries just taking their toll on his production, you look back and you go, man, that's a really good player that could have been a Hall of Fame player for us. And he got the big contract already, like the long extension. It's a team-friendly contract when you look at the cost of it, but they're locked in with him for a long time, which they had the same thing with Ryan Braun when he was going through his injury issues. It feels very familiar to me as being someone who was here through all that and watched it all pretty up close.
Well, I said that's actually a thing that I said to my dad too, and I was just texting. Like, this reminds me of the Ryan Braun thing. The only difference is Ryan Braun's naggy little injuries he had were those intercostals, like the rib muscles and everything, and those are so small. And it's like, whatever, like he kept straining those, and it was his ribs, and whenever he twisted, I was like, I would rather it be something like Yelich's back, where it's like you can potentially get surgery on that and fix that in an off season. You know, it's like, and then like Yelich would come back, and I mean, sports science, all in like medicine and everything, like it gets better every single year. If not like every couple months, like they're learning more and more about these guys' bodies and stuff. And from when Ryan Braun was getting hurt, the technology's better now.
For sure. Yeah.
And that's
back surgery is still a tricky thing. And I'm not saying this will be the case with Christian Yelich. There are a lot of guys who are never the same after after going under the knife for back surgery. But yeah, I mean, it gets all medical technology gets better pretty much every day.
He's got to go to Brooke Lopez's back doctor. That's where you got to go. Whoever the hell put a new back on Brooke Lopez.
That's true. That is true.
Christian Yelich is more of a people-sized human being, and
sure, yeah, that's
probably find him to back a lot easier. Like, it didn't have to be a custom-made back out of 3 other people. So,
but I feel like a back injury can be a lot more detrimental to a baseball player than a basketball player. There's a lot of torque in swinging a baseball bat and throwing a baseball. Brooke Lopez is mostly running, going up and down physically. It's not there's some twisting in basketball, especially if you have like a back to the basket game, which he has a little bit of. But with a swinging a bat or throwing a baseball, it's a lot of torque on the back and rib and intercostal area.
Yeah, I mean, you're telling me. I mean, like my swing in wiffle ball didn't feel right for most of the season.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's like,
who am I talking? I forgot I was talking to a top athlete. I'm sorry, that's my bad. And he has a wiffle ball in hand. He has a wiffle ball in hand for those of you who are listening on Spotify now.
Multi-sport athlete. Wiffle ball and gym basketball. I was a menace today.
All right, I'll ask. What did you do today at the basketball court, Drew?
Played 3-on-3.
Fuck around and get a triple-double?
No, but I played a game of 3-on-3 and I scored 12 of our 16 points.
There you go. That's my boy. That's my guy. Outstanding.
And then I lifted and got big and strong.
Nice. Look at that. Did you take some creatine or protein powder afterwards?
No, AJ does that. I just eat meat. That's it.
Are you? He really does? I didn't know that.
AJ's taking creatine. Oh yeah.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I know AJ was trying to bulk up. I had no idea.
No, he's doing.
He knows who AJ is.
He's doing ab ripper. P90X.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. We're getting jacked. It's the last summer anyways, so we're all getting jacked.
It's not the last summer.
You didn't?
I mean, things might be different.
It's the last
things might be very different after this summer, but it's not going to be the last summer.
Nuclear winter. It's coming up.
I don't think that's happening. Some stuff could happen. I'm not saying some stuff couldn't happen, but I don't think that's happening.
Just stealing another one?
Should we?
I should be drinking
that.
I'm going to talk like that. I should be drinking red Gatorade.
You should be drinking red Gatorade. Yes, if you're going to be an election denier.
I got my libertarian cucumber lime in the fridge. That's for special occasions. Very libertarian flavor.
Should we turn this into a political podcast?
God, no.
I don't know, man. There's always something to talk about there. There's always something every day. It's another like earth shifting thing is happening. I feel like it makes the job really easy.
Yeah, I mean,
we just have to have stupid, like unobjective, extreme opinions.
Yeah, we could make like a ton of money. Like Destiny makes a lot of money, and like Hassan Piker, he makes a lot of money. They're both morons. But like, they make a lot.
I don't know who either of those people are, but you're probably right.
Because you're older than me. I shouldn't know who they are, but they're stupid.
There are a lot of stupid people making money on this. A lot of stupid people making money on this.
And I never claimed to be smart, but that's the problem. I know I'm dumb. That's the issue here.
Same.
I don't have any illusions of being brilliant.
All right. Anything else on the Brewers or Christian Yelich, or there was something else I wanted to move on to?
Trade deadline. I saw one of the other things. This isn't as sexy of a move as like Vlad Guerrero Jr., but I saw potential trade targets for the Brewers, and this was so funny to me because it seemed like this was written by somebody who is just really nostalgic for like the last 3 years of Brewers baseball. Because this is like one of those things where it's like when like a few years ago, it's like, well, why don't we trade for Casey McGee again? Or why don't we trade for like Antonio Aguilar again? Like, what? Like, there were just like all these things. And the trades were 2 of the 3 proposed trades And none of these guys are.
Is Casey McGee still playing baseball? He's not still playing.
No. He's definitely not. He shouldn't have been 3 years into what was the end of this. But the whole thing was like, which was even funnier, is like they're like, number one trade target for the Brewers potentially Mark Canha, and I was like, oh, okay, the guy we traded for last year, right? We're gonna do the K-Rod thing where we constantly bring this guy back every year, and then it was like the next one was shit. What was the other one? Fuck, no, I just lost it. There was another guy that we like traded for recently that just like left. Oh, it was Jesse Winker. Yeah, they're like, we could go get Jesse Winker, and I was like, no, I never want to see him on a playoff roster again. They're like, no, he's batting 199 with the Nationals. Like, no,
dude,
like, exactly
Brewers fans
better than he was last year with us all year.
I was going to say Brewers fans, but it's really Wisconsin fans. They fall in love with some weird, not weird dudes in the sense that they're weird dudes, but weird dudes like in the sense that they're just like okay athletes. It happens across the board in Wisconsin sports. Like what is that about you guys that you just latch on to these okay dudes?
You have like a
and they become fan favorites and guys you want to bring back.
You gotta have like your one like moment that's like crazy. Like, you know, it's like Mark Canha hit that grand slam that was like huge last year.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
I remember. It's like, and then the other one was Tommy Pham, and I'm like, he tried to fight our entire fucking team.
He really did. He literally did. Yeah.
Here's the problem with the Tommy Pham thing that like when like especially like this should have jumped out and be like, no, we're not trading for this guy. When they brought up his stats, it said Tommy Pham in 36 games for the White Sox this season. The White Sox are bottom feeders.
The White Sox
played in 36 games.
The White Sox are a major league baseball team.
This guy is so fucking bad at baseball that he literally works out in the offseason learning how to fight in case he has to use it on the baseball field. This guy's a hockey goon.
Yeah, he said that. He literally said that.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm fighting the offseason for a reason.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to fight William Contreras. What? He's a catcher and he's like 5 inches taller than you. He's going to kill you.
He was the guy who almost got into fight over fantasy football, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a psycho. He's a legit psycho.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, he's an idiot and a crazy person.
But like again, for the Chicago White Sox, who I'm pretty sure are dead last in all of sports right now, I think the Fever could fucking beat the White Sox.
At what? At which sport?
Don't care. Pick one. I'm Caitlin Clark, ride or die. It's.
I hear you.
But like, no, it's like in 36 games for a last place team.
Yeah, dude.
Like, oh yeah, okay. Well, Brewers, you're not gonna have to give up any.
I'm sure that there's probably a few Brewers fans who fucking love Tommy Pham.
They were probably like, yeah, he played for the Cardinals, and they probably
aren't you in weird Brewers group chats on the old Facebooks like you are with the Bucks? What are they saying anything dumb leading up to the trade deadline?
No, because that group chat's the Milwaukee Brewers social club. Like, I think you're in that one too, aren't you?
I used to be. I think when I moved out of Milwaukee for a second time, I was removed.
Oh, well. Yeah. Anyways, we know like a lot of the guys who like moderate that, and like
I know
none of them are.
I know, which is why I was a little bit disturbed by the fact that they would remove me.
Well, we'll talk to Corey Bauman about that. He listens to the show. But anyways, like none of them are psychos.
Corey.
Like, I've never looked at a take by somebody in the Brewers, like the Milwaukee Brewers social club, and been like, that's a dumb take. Everyone's pretty level-headed and normal.
Oh, well, that's not.
But now it's like the Milwaukee Bucks Nation is just that place is wild right now.
Are you in any Packers chat rooms?
Nah, I don't care enough. The Packers are always just good. I'm like, whatever.
So you don't know how people are reacting to this Jordan Love story that he's not going to be practicing till he gets his new contract.
Uh-oh, Aaron Rodgers 3.0. Brett Favre. Draft replacement, guys. Here we go.
I do got to say this about this particular situation. And for those who don't know, Jordan Love, he's at Packers camp. He's doing the old hold in. It's not a hold out. He's doing a hold in. So he's at camp. He's going to meetings. He's doing all the things except for going out on the field and throwing footballs. He's not doing the physical part of training camp right now until they hammer out the details of his new contract. And he's far from the first guy to do this and to try and get his money in this way of going about this way. But when it comes to the Packers, man, and you can take this with a grain of salt that is coming from a Bears fan, but it's also coming from a Bears fan who always says whatever the fuck the Packers are doing, it's working, and I wish the Bears did more of it. But they sure do make their best players at the most important positions in the game scratch and claw for every fucking penny and every fucking little thing that they want every time it's time to sit down at the negotiation table. And I know maybe they don't go after free agents, but when they do, that's something that like it leaves a little stink on you around the league when you make Aaron Rodgers and David Bakhtiari and Devontae Adams and now Jordan Love have to sit at the negotiation table and go, the fuck, we got to do this. Like I like being here. I do a very good job for you. Just pay me and let's go out there and play some football.
Well, so the thing with that though, like right now with Jordan Love, he did only play one season as a starter. So
I get it. Yeah.
I mean, going as far as they did last year with him essentially being the leader of the team, yeah, he probably deserves more than what they initially probably wanted to give him for his second year starting. But also at the same time, like you can't get too fucking crazy because something could happen. You could have a sophomore slump. Like you could be just a team could figure out you have a tell or something and they can start picking you off. Like guys could start reading you. Like those guys in secondaries, they're not stupid. Like a lot of the times, like they have like do like the IQ test or whatever. Like usually, like guys in like the secondary score the highest.
Yeah, and I don't know if he can do what he did in the second half of last season consistently for a 17-game season. But at the same time, I say this all the time when it comes to contract negotiations. The Packers lined it up in this way in terms of the timeline on Jordan Love. And whether or not you have to decide right now how much of a fluke you think the second half was last night. And if you think he's the real deal, you have to pay him top dollar. Like that's just the way that the market works. Because if you don't, and nobody can do it anytime soon, really, relatively speaking, but if you don't, somebody will. Somebody out there is willing to do it if this thing got ugly enough and Jordan Love, was like, if you don't want to pay me, trade me. There would be somebody out there who would be like, yeah, we'll trade for Jordan Love and give him top dollar. Because that's just the way the market works.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like they can't be offensive about it, but like they also can't just be willing to open up a blank check here and just be like, well, here we go, guys. It's like we're just paying out everything. It's like you can't do that either because you want to, at least for the good of the team, have some wiggle room to keep this core together if you think this core is that good. Because I still don't think that a quarterback is the greatest player out on the field without some pretty damn good players around him that fit the way he plays too.
Sure.
You know? Like Favre had guys that could pick the ball off their fucking shoelaces. Aaron Rodgers never needed that because he put the ball right in their breadbasket every time.
I say that all the time. Like quarterbacks aren't just like they don't just fall from trees. Great. Like their environment matters. Who they're playing with, who they're playing for, all that stuff matters. But at the end of the day, they're the guys who get paid and who have the biggest thumbprint on the game. And I'm just saying, like, you can't just give them a blank check. You're right. But when it seems like it's pulling teeth every time one of these guys, again, I'm talking at premium positions, quarterback, wide receiver, left tackle, like when it's pulling teeth every time you have to sit at the negotiation table with those guys, and it's never like, it doesn't seem like it's ever just hammered out and smooth sailing and you go into the season with no noise around it. To me, it rubs me wrong would if I was an NFL player and looking at the Packers as an organization.
So I think that this first contract here, it shouldn't rub him wrong, and there shouldn't be any bad blood or anything like that. If they do this to him again in 5 years, or if they do this to him again, in like 6 years, 7 years, if they do the same shit that they did with Aaron Rodgers and just kind of dicking him around and then like not listening to his input and everything, yeah, he should get offended. And yeah, I would say, honestly, as a Packers fan, leave before it gets ugly. Don't drag out this shit and be like, look, it's the organization again. Because I think I'm still of the belief that the organization screwed up the Aaron Rodgers situation.
I said that too. There were mistakes made on both sides, but I think the Packers started that snowball down the hill.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same defense because, obviously I'm a bigger basketball guy here. But, like, Giannis, I give him whatever the hell he wants until he destroys this team. That's
it. You just brought up Giannis, and I did want to say, okay, we're not a political show. I'm not
a jumper.
No, I wasn't going to talk about his jumper. I don't know if you saw, but so Donald Trump was talking about the convention and being in Milwaukee, and he was talking about the arena, and then like you know how he talks, like he just like it's word association. You know what I mean? Like thoughts just occur to him that are connected to the words that are currently coming out of his mouth, and he goes, "They got a good basketball team. They got a good basketball team. The Greek, they got the Greek. You know the Greek." And which it was funny. It was a funny little moment. But you know what's gonna happen now, Drew? You know what's gonna happen? Up until now, Giannis has been universally loved and lovable. There's no way you don't like Giannis. Even though it's just a throwaway moment and it was just funny and we're laughing about it right here, somebody's gonna ask him if he heard what Donald Trump said about him. It's going to get asked when they get together for the Olympics. And he's going to say something that is going to be innocuous and innocent, but it's still going to piss off half the people. And it's going to be the first thing. It's going to be the first chink in the lovable armor around Giannis that makes him so universally loved.
You're saying that's the first chink in the armor for Giannis? Because let me tell you something. You haven't been listening to Stephen A. Smith or Brian Windhorst, the Milwaukee Bucks Nation. Donald Trump endorsing our best basketball player is by far not even like top 3 things they'll complain about.
I'm just saying.
The fact that Giannis didn't know that he could dunk Oreos in milk, that was a controversy.
That was, yeah.
And they're like he should be in New York where they know where Oreos go.
No, but I'm serious. As far as fans go and Bucks fans, somebody's gonna ask him about it, and no matter what he says, because of the political climate that we have now, it's gonna make half the people upset. It's gonna piss off half the people.
I don't think so. Because whether he knows about it, he knows all the chatter. Like that all came out last year. That all the players are very aware of what's being said about them, and it was affecting guys like Bobby Portis and shit. Like they all know. These dudes all talk in the offseason. It's not like they're like just work friends and they're like, all right, well, yeah, when you punch in tomorrow. Like these the Bucks have a culture of like everybody knowing everybody and being friends with each other and stuff. Like they seem like they always preach their family thing. Giannis knows what was said in his stadium. And you know what? He's going to come out and he's going to downplay it and just be like, no, I don't pay attention. And that's going to be that. Like, that's all he's going to do. He's going to be.
I have it. You want to hear it? You want to hear Donald Trump talking about Giannis?
Kind of, yeah. Hold up. Wow. He's like 7 feet.
Basketball team, which is excellent. The Greek, right? The Greek. He's a good player, but they built the team, and it was like it's one of the most. I think.
Okay, that's not coming through, right? But wait, did
you didn't hear that? You didn't hear
the stadium basketball team, which is excellent.
No, it's not coming through. I wish I could share clips, but I don't know. StreamYard freezes up every time I try to share a clip. Share a clip on the screen. But yeah, it's pretty funny.
More importantly,
until it ruins again. Like I said, the perfect image of Giannis to half the people, whichever half it is, it's going to be one half.
Do you remember when a couple like when we won the championship, the black jerseys that we had that had the blue line through, like it had like the cream stripe and like the white stripe and the blue stripe, and literally again called those Blue Lives Matter fucking jerseys. Like, dude, like whatever. Like they're gonna be like Donald Trump endorses the Milwaukee Bucks. Fucking hate us more. I don't care. All right. I like my team. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't either, and I don't either. And we will continue to root for the Bucks, and we'll continue to love Giannis. But I'm telling you, when he's asked about it, whatever his answer is, half the people aren't going to be happy about it. Even though it's again just a total throwaway, innocuous moment. This is going to be the first thing. Like I said this, Aaron. People told me like, oh no way, Giannis will be loved forever by everyone. And I was like, y'all thought that about Aaron Rodgers at one point. Y'all thought that about Ryan Braun at one point. There's at some point a pivot where a guy turns off a certain section of the fandom. And I'm just saying, like, and it's stupid. I'm not saying it's right. It's stupid. This might be it. When somebody asked him about that moment of Donald Trump saying, the Greek, he's a very good basketball player.
Yeah, but he said very good. He didn't say like number one. So it's like, and you know, Trump likes Luka. It's got to be Luka. It's got to be Jokic.
Luka's an immigrant. He doesn't like Luka.
Giannis is an immigrant too. What the fuck are you talking
about? It's true. Have you
forgotten Giannis? Oh, you mean that German-Polish name, Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Guy doesn't like either one of them, if we're being
right. Wow. I can't believe that. We got old Giannis Smith out there.
We've gone too far down this road. There's just one more thing I wanted to mention. I don't know if
I want to say
one more week till football, Drew. One more week till my Chicago Bears, till Caleb Williams makes his NFL debut at the Hall of Fame game, baby. 1 week from tonight, Drew. NFL season starts and a new fucking era starts in the NFC North. Are you ready? Are you ready for this, Drew? 1 week.
Because Jordan Love is going to not play all preseason, and then he's just going to come out there and fucking drop 6 dimes just immediately. Yeah, okay.
That could very well happen. That could very easily happen. I am itchy for football. I don't know about you. I'm itchy for football. I'm overplaying the Caleb Williams new era thing a little bit.
Well,
picking up on my sarcasm, but I'm itchy for football. I'm ready.
I'm not, because my baseball.
Because your baseball team is good. Yeah, I know. Fuck you, dude.
In the thick of it right now.
Yeah.
Arguably, our best player just went down with an injury, and I'm like, this is fucking great. Like, I'm having a blast watching these guys.
It is a fun baseball team.
I was gonna say this though, like, I know you're not a fan of the Olympics. I know you're not a fan of playing for your country and everything like that. But Giannis's jumper is looking pretty nice. Like,
is it?
Got a pretty quick release.
But you know what? I'm not doing this. There's been at least 2 or 3 off seasons where I see some grainy ass footage from some place where he's practicing or playing, and they're like, oh, his jump shot is different. He's got it. He's cracked the code, dude. I'll believe it when I see it in NBA games.
Yeah,
and quite honestly, I'm at the point. I've reached the point, and I where I don't need him to be a great jump shooter. He's a great player the way that he is now. If he finds a jump shot, my guy Gary Ellerson, who's recovering from back surgery, get well, GE, he's right here over my left shoulder actually. He said 5, 6, 7 years ago on the air, he was like, if Giannis can become a good jump shooter, we're talking Jordan territory. We're talking GOAT stuff. If he can add that to the repertoire that he already has, and I don't know that he can ever reach those heights, and I don't need him to. If he does, great. But I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, to quote Axel Foley from Beverly Hills Cop. I'll believe the jump shot is there when I see it in real basketball games.
I would like just to see if it's over, because it looks like he's been pulling up a little bit more confidently, and it's like he's pulling up at like the free throw line. Like he's not. It's not like he's doing step backs, and he's not like trying to beat guys off like the dribble with with ISO and everything like that. He's just taking a nice little pull up jumper, that gets the guys backpedaling. There's a nice little space, given he's playing against essentially G League players. But still, we'll see if it translates. If it translates, it translates. If it doesn't, well, he can just go back to the other thing. We can just let Dame rain 3-pointers from half court. Like, I'm fine with that.
I'd like him to be an average free throw shooter. If that never happens, fine. fine, whatever. He's still going to be probably, he could be a top, I don't know, 10 player all time when all is said and done. If not,
he's got to get it. He's gonna have to get another ring. Here's the thing with that though. Giannis has made steady improvements every year, and every year we're always like, well, what can he improve on now? He gets more efficient. You know, he gets
True.
better with ball handling. His playmaking gets better. It's like everything he does, like he's been able to improve certain aspects of his game every season while not taking away much of anything else from his skill set. It's not like all of a sudden he became a great playmaker, but now he can't rebound. It's like he's still in the right position. He still hustles. He was, besides the playoffs, he was relatively healthy last year. He only missed 9 games in the regular season. But so it's like, it's not like he was playing less games. It's not like he was playing less minutes. Like he always finds a way to improve. So watching this, I'm like cautiously optimistic about where this could go for him. I'm good with that. Oh, there was another Bucks related thing that I did want to bring up too. I think it was Behind the Buck Pass. I think they had an article. I forget who it was that wrote it, but it was about Pat Connaughton's minutes and what what they might look like. Like obviously Pat Connaughton is not going to be starting on this team, but it's his before the season projections for 36 minutes a night is 10.7 points per game. And they have him taking 6 3-pointers per 36 minutes and making 2 of them. Pat Connaughton is going to be deep bench because everybody else that we picked up in the offseason is better than him at all of those metrics.
That would be a good thing, man. That would be a good thing if because it seems and the deeper we get into the offseason, it seems like this is he's going to be a part of the roster. But if you can lessen his importance on the roster and push him down a few rungs on the ladder, then Pat Connaughton becomes an easier pill to swallow in the minutes that he's going to get.
And that's exactly why, with the Chris Middleton ankle rescoping surgeries, I was like, God, here we go. Because that just means, okay, now Taurean Prince is going to be starting at the 3, and now that means that Pat Connaughton is going to be your swing man off the bench. And I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want Pat Connaughton seeing more minutes than AJ Green and Andre Jackson. I'm like, you can go out there, and when you got to play with Tyler Smith and you got to play with AJ Johnson when we're blowing a team out, when we're beating the Celtics by 65 points in the second quarter, then you can put Pat Connaughton out there.
I also do think, and Eric Name said this from The Athletic when he was on with me on the Fan a few weeks ago, Pat Connaughton he's kind of a coach's player, and Doc Rivers is, a veteran head coach who likes his veterans, and he's going to try and find a role for Pat Connaughton on this team. I do think that's the case.
Yeah, Doc Rivers loves his players that are players coaches so much that Pat Beverly's playing in fucking Tel Aviv right now. So,
and on that note, this has been episode 63 of Ramie and Drew. That is Drew Flaggy. I'm Ramie Makloff. Again, sadly, not streaming live on Twitter anymore, but we are on YouTube. We are on Facebook Live, and you can catch us anytime you want on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. Like, subscribe, rate, review, tell a friend. We especially need your help now that Elon Musk is screwing us by trying to get $8 a month out of us to stream live on Twitter. We need you. We need you to like, subscribe, rate, and review, and help grow this thing without Twitter, if that's even possible. This is Ramie and Drew, episode 63. We will talk to you next time.